Hi, everybody, and welcome to the very last tip of the year, video tip of the year. I'm going to get going right away. This particular tip is for teachers, both to help you utilize Gale when you're collecting content and things for your lessons, as well as to help students get started after you've assigned them a paper or a project. So first of all, how to access Gale. First, you're going to want to talk to your librarian because it's actually different at every single school. So get the links from your librarian. Sometimes you can find it on your library page. I'm going to just quickly show you. In some high schools, it's from their web page. Here in departments, and I click down to Media Center and it takes me directly to the Gale links. Another school, for example, has a student link, and then Gale Databases is right there. And yet another school has a link for their library under academics, and then there's a Gale database link. So it doesn't matter how your school does it, but pretty regularly on a school website you can find the link to your Gale library page. But again, ask your librarian. And then you see all the various databases. The databases really are self-explanatory when you talk about them by the title: World History in Context, U.S. History, Science in Context, Global Issues, for example, Biography. The only ones that are a little bit questionable of what they actually are: Student Resources in Context is actually a cross-curricular database for high school level. So this would be my one-stop shop for anything in high school. And then at the middle school level, Research in Context. I know the name doesn't obviously tell you that it's a middle school database, but it's designed specifically for middle school. So if you're a middle school teacher, that's where you want to direct students primarily and first off. Now, jumping into Opposing Viewpoints, because it is actually the most popular database that we have, I want to show you right up here at the top, there is a link for curriculum standards. And what you can do is you can follow your state or national standards, choose which one, and then it brings up the standards and then provides actual links to the say, for example, chemical elements. I'm just going to go ahead and click on it so you can kind of see. And this can become a unit of study for that particular standard. That you have audio. It's a way for you to really quickly find material when you're working on a particular standard on a particular day or a particular week, whether you're looking for audio, print material for homework assignments, academic journals, just some really quick way that you as a teacher can access information. But let's suppose you're a student and you've been assigned you as a teacher have assigned them a paper or a project, and they need to find a topic. Right next to it, this Browse Issues button, and it doesn't matter which database you're in, all of the databases have this Browse Issues button, and you're able to scroll through and see which articles are available, which topics are available. The green shows you which ones have been updated recently. But the really cool thing about this is it narrows it down for the students, excuse me, and enables you to put it into their hands. Another way that you can utilize Gale databases to help find a topic or narrow it down, let's suppose your student has a general idea. They want to talk about adoptions. So you do a search up at the top, and after having done a search, it's going to show you, summarize here off on the right, the type of content you're getting. So for example, viewpoints, I'm just going to go through these so you understand what each one is. Viewpoints are like opinion articles from newspapers or magazines. Reference articles are from encyclopedia or books. Biographies, obviously. Statistics, so you'll get graphs and things such as that. You'll usually get primary sources that you can use, and I know it's important right now with the curriculum standards to have primary sources be one of the sources that students do use. You have multimedia material, whether it be audio, video, images, and then you have your magazines, your news, and academic journals obviously are going to be a little bit higher level. And then they provide you with we provide you with safe websites to then further direct you out. But as you can see by these numbers, that's a lot of material. And maybe you want to encourage your student to narrow this topic down. Adoptions is too broad of a topic. There's 2 additional tools that you can utilize right here. The first one is search within results. So maybe I want to specifically talk about adoptions out of Russia, and then it will narrow down the search. Another way that I can do the same thing is, but this one is something I love and a lot of people love, is this topic finder. It allows you to visually see what's available and provide suggestions for topics that you might utilize to narrow it down. Excuse me again. I'm overcoming a cold. I've waited like 2 weeks to do this video for you. So here you see, under the topic of adoptions, I can do inter-country adoption. It even has pet adoption. You can kind of see how it narrows down adoption reform. So if I click on adoption reform, for example, off here to the right, you see the articles that are coming up that are possible for me. And if I click on those, it takes me directly into that article. Does that make sense? So these are ways that I've narrowed down the topic and made it available, made it more manageable as a research or a project topic. So next thing I want you to understand is how you can save this material. So these 2 buttons off here to the right, send to Google Drive. So if I'm a student, I'm working on this particular article and I want to save it in Google Drive or Google OneDrive, all I have to do is click these buttons and it goes directly and makes it available for offline usage. Another thing that I can do is I can highlight and take notes within the environment of Gale. I don't have to print it out and then highlight and take notes. I can do it right within here. The important thing to note, however, if you encourage your students to do this, is then you need to send it to Google Drive, and it will save the highlights and notes if you send it to Google Drive or Google OneDrive. You can't just do it in here without doing something with it afterwards. And the really cool thing is, after you've done that, and you come up in here to highlights and notes, it saves, let me find where I have it. It saves your highlighting and your notes. There we go. So here we have highlights and notes, and the highlight here on the right, the note that I've taken right here. I've even had some teachers who have asked students to turn this particular page in so that they can then utilize this to note that students are not plagiarizing or using or quoting, whether they're quoting directly or paraphrasing or, like I mentioned, plagiarizing. And the way you would do this, again, you come up here to more, you go to highlights and notes, and then this page can be sent to Google Drive or to your OneDrive or printed out to be turned in by the students. So last thing that I want to show you is the citation tool off to the right. So you click the citation tool and it provides a pre-formatted citation, and you can change the format, and you can also export this directly into Google Drive or OneDrive or any of the other citation programs that are available out there. So we've talked about utilizing the curriculum standards, we've talked about browsing issues and searching to narrow down results, we've talked about highlighting, taking notes, and we've also talked about linking to your Google Drive or Google OneDrive and citations. These tools in and of themselves should really help you get started and help your students get started on a project or a paper. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.